Hello and welcome to the third edition of 10 Talk. I'm your host, Adam Mincham, and as always, I am joined by Seth Hutchings.
Hello, all.
Hello, Seth. How you doing?
Well.
Good.
I'm good. Yes, long weekend, but good.
So today's topic is ABM, versus ABX, and the difference between the two. We love an acronym. I've heard ABM or account-based marketing referred to as account-based everything. I think that was coined by the Marketo team. I've heard it called account-based enterprise, but we have landed on account-based experiences and replacing that E with an X.
Yep.
And so today we're going to talk a little bit about, well, what does that mean?
That's right.
And what's the difference between two, and why have we coined this new phrase? So I think we're going to have the usual 10-minute slot here. I don't know if the clock's ready to go behind you there, Seth.
It is. No, this is a good topic. It's a needed topic, and so I'm excited to spend 10 minutes talking about it.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start listing this first question. So what is ABM versus ABX? Why do we need to have this new name?
Yeah, I mean, real quick, ABM, account-based marketing, ABX, account-based experiences. What we've seen year over year, lots of years, where we've seen a molding and a shifting of responsibilities. And I think that's kind of key, is we feel like there's one area that needs to be responsible. So in the past, it's been account-based marketing. So marketing should be responsible for driving these accounts, right? And so that's why we termed it account-based marketing. And then we see a shift of responsibility to the sales team, account-based enterprise, where they need to go and sell enterprises, or even the customer success team, where they need to sell and cross-sell, upsell to these accounts. So then it can become really confusing when you just use the term account-based marketing. That then automatically assigns a responsibility to the marketing teams. We feel like that's not accurate. There needs to be a shared responsibility here. So we've landed on account-based experiences, because those experiences happen from a net new prospecting all the way down to cross-sell, upsell, and the customer success team. And really, we've identified three core maturity areas. Number one is, sometimes when we're just dabbling in this idea of account-based something, we tend to just do a targeted list of accounts. Here's a list from sales, let's go after it. Because we love acronyms, term that account-based targeting, ABT now, right? We added one in for the fun of it. So account-based targeting is, let's just go after these accounts, which is good. It's a great start. But then as you mature into what marketing can deliver and sales can deliver, and what customer success and product teams can even deliver, then you're getting into account relationships. You're getting into customized and personalized experiences. You're getting into behavioral type of data that is very much needed. You're getting into technology that needs to be integrated. You're getting into ecosystems with partners that need to be aligned. So all of a sudden, all this alignment and all this responsibility needs to be coordinated, aligned, and that's where we really have landed on account-based experiences as the right term and the key term, in our humble opinion, I guess.
So as a B2B marketer, I've always been an account-based targeter. So we're all ABT. Some of us have matured into ABM, and we're kind of saying that there's some more purposeful strategy. There's an element of technology that's enabling ABM, like the demand bases and the terminuses of the world. And big shift there is around executing digital media, frankly, at IP level to targeted audiences, was a new thing. And then account-based experiences is about the full ecosystem, right? And getting into the full ecosystem.
That's right. It's a great summary.
And so now I'm bought in, right? I don't want to be an account-based targeter. I would like to be an account-based marketer, but I'd really like to be an account-based experiencer. I don't know if that's real. So, but what am I getting for it? What's the benefits of moving over to this newer approach?
Yeah, I think going from a siloed responsibility to a shared responsibility brings a lot of benefits, especially when it comes to results. We have stats from, we've done a lot of research, both from a desktop standpoint as well as our own research, but out there in the industry, either from McKinsey or Forrester, other individuals, we've seen that overall, you're going to get a higher ROI when there is a focused integration between an ABX versus an ABM. And even to the point where we see, for example, Forrester reported a 313% total, economic impact ROI of an ABX program versus just a siloed ABM program. We've also seen investment from executives. When you can show the total results of an experience from an account, there's some research out there that shows that 77% of executives understand it, and they're going to invest more in it because they understand it and they see the value of it. So that's huge when you can get that greater investment for everyone. And then, really it's all about the value, right? The account value. And we see an 80% increase in overall account value when we're focused on account-based experiences versus any other kind of siloed experience. So big stats there, big numbers, but we validated it and we think those are really important.
Yeah. So where you're targeting companies, this is going to return a better result, right? I mean, we're
Exactly.
more focused, we're more organized. Our dollars going to areas where we know we can get results, and we're smarter on it. We're data driven.
That's right.
Process.
Yeah.
All right. So
from your point of view, Adam, actually, I'd like to ask you. I mean, do you see that as valuable from an internal investment as well as a kind of revenue ROI? Is that something you see as valuable?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's logical. I mean, I think we've got to draw the line on where account-based works and where it doesn't. And I think if you're a company who's targeting companies from small business to large enterprises, we generally say this is more of an enterprise strategy, right? And so, I mean, absolutely, for the right cohort, I'm gonna take those stats to my executives and say this is probably worth an investment. And I think one of the key things, and this is one of our next topics to cover, is kind of that demand generation versus ABX, right? And this is not all about incremental budget. This is about maybe shifting budget and shifting mindsets. And some of that next dialogue will be around, kind of thinking about, well, what's the return and what's the strategy that I want to deploy. So, not everything here is about let's just create more budget and buy more tech and do it. So it's really about, is my marketing automation platform going to be the thing that I need for the future, or is my account-based experience platform going to be the center of my universe, as an example? And I know that the Forrester said was that 82% of people that responded to the whole demand versus ABM wanted to see a merging of those two strategies. So there's quite a lot to that. So I think with that said, though, what is success? Like if I'm looking at deploying ABX strategy, I'm going to start small, presumably, and work my way up. What should I do? What shouldn't I do?
Yeah, let's start with what you should not do. Number one is don't treat it as a campaign, because you're just automatically putting yourself in that account-based targeting bucket, and you're not going to get out of it. If you're still just running campaigns to prove value from a marketing standpoint and from like you're saying, a demand standpoint, it's not going to be successful. We rarely see that as being a successful POC of doing a demand campaign that's account targeting. Also, what we should not do is have the technology be the silver bullet. We've seen those that invested in technology, ABM specific platforms, or even CRM specific platforms, and hoping that solves everything. Solves alignment. It solves how we go to market. It solves how we target and use data. And it just doesn't. And so that's something that we would recommend, that you can't start with a technology-only approach. Critical, both of them are very critical, how you target and how you prospect and how you use technology, but not something that you want to rely on 100% to go out the gate with. Also, it's not a short-term play. When you're talking about aligning sales teams and customer success teams and product teams and your marketing teams, that is always time-consuming. That's always needed coordination. So, and a 4-week, let's see if we can get this done in 4 weeks and run something and make it all sing happily. It's not reality, right? So then what should you do? Well, number one, it's very operational. So we think starting with an ABX operational strategy is the most important. How are we going to get all the teams working together? How are we going to go to market? That's customer centric and account centric. And how we're going to organize that between all the players is the most important. So an operational playbook for ABX is where to start versus, let's say, a campaign playbook. Also, a shift in how we think about KPIs and how we think about the metrics of success is really critical at the very beginning. So when you think about relationships now versus a lead, those two are very different things, and how you track that and how you manage that are going to be very different. How you think about lifetime value of an account and growing that value is going to be very different from a standard, MQL. And then how we do truly revenue enablement. How are we going to track revenue across accounts and make sure that's measurable and making sure it's connected in all the right areas. That all goes into this kind of alignment operational plan, and that's where we would start. Focus on the ABX if we want to really create ABX out of the gate. Usually it's a maturity thing, but if it's out of the gate, that's where I'd start.
So we're not going to get those stats and those ROIs unless we think about this holistically as a broad strategy and not as an individual campaign. So be careful what you promise to your executives if you're planning on doing just a campaign and hoping to get the 300% ROI.
That's right. Yep, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's important. I mean, when you think about what's truly valuable to an organization, whether it's, taking the most slice of the budget is going to, as a pie, is going to be more effective than trying to think about slices independently. So,
all right. No, that's great. Well, with 16 seconds to go, I think our next topic, or maybe not the next topic, but we want to do the demand versus kind of ABX view of things. And, we want to share some of our research as well, I think, coming out of some of these sessions.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think if you're going to be watching this on the on LinkedIn, we'll also share an ABX cheat sheet that people could take a look at. So
yeah, we'll do that. We'll go and share the maturity model, the cheat sheet to that maturity model, and we'll leave that as an attachment. I think that would be great.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks again, Seth. We will be back again in 2 weeks' time.
Sounds good. I'm excited what we have planned.
Yeah, maybe a guest. Maybe a guest.
That would be great.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.